Hey you guys, it's Melvin Barbari here, and today we're going to be reviewing two palettes. They're actually two Artistry palettes from two different brands. First, we have in this corner the James Charles and Morphe collab, and this is what the inside of this palette looks like. And then we have the BH Studio Pro Artistry palette, and this is what this one looks like. Don't mind this shadow, it had fell out during shipment to me, and I reached out to customer service and they're sending me another palette on the way. But my plan here is to create the same look using both of the palettes. On this eye, I'm gonna be doing the BH side, and on this eye is gonna be the James Charles side. I'm gonna try to use as many colors as I can, or colors I find similar in both palettes, and I'm gonna apply that to the eye. And now let's get into the eye look. Okay, you guys, I already primed my eye using the LA Girl Pro Matte Concealer in the shade Warm Sand, and we're just gonna jump right into the eye look. First, I'm gonna go in with the transition shade from the Artistry palettes. They both really don't have names to it. Well, the James Charles do, but they're on this plastic sheet. Both of them have this plastic sheet. I think that's kind of annoying, but it is what it is. I'm gonna go into a like warm, light matte shade. I'll show you on camera. I'm going into this shade all over the lid right here, and I'm gonna be using the same similar color from the James Charles palette. Again, the ideal of this is create the same look using two different palettes, see how they perform, if they perform any differently or not. And at the end, I'm gonna tell you guys about price points and all that good stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna just go right in and cover this all over the lid and just use that as a lid color to set that concealer in place. And with the BH eyeshadows, they are super creamy. Like the front of the package is saying, I've felt most of the mattes. The mattes are like so creamy. And now I'm gonna go over here to the James Charles side. And I feel like the shade that's similar to this is the one right here. And I'm gonna use that all over the lid. And I'm seeing it right now. The James Charles palette is kicking up a lot more than the BH palette is. And with just comparing how they move and how they feel, the BH one is definitely much more creamier than the James Charles one, but on the eye, they about look the same. But I don't know, I just feel like the James Charles one is just a little bit more powdery, I guess. I feel like it's kicking up a lot more, whereas the BH Cosmetic one is just, you know, it's not kicking up as much. Powder is actually setting the concealer in place. Okay, and for these, with the brushes that I'm using, for the BH ones is some brush that I got off Amazon, and for the Morphe one, I'm actually using their brushes, so. Okay, now that I got the overall lid color on, I would say so far I do like the BH side a little bit more, just because it's, I don't know, it's just, I feel like it's more smoother, more blended. I'm trying to work with the one on the James Charles side. It just seems, I don't know, very drying on the eye. No, it looks very drying on the eye. But anyway, let's go into the next shade. I'm gonna go into the green shade in both palettes. I'm just trying to look back and forth, see which ones they have more in common. So I'm gonna pick up this green shade from the BH palette and put that color right in the crease right here. And again, I'm trying to see how the colors layers on top of each other as well. But one thing I do like about the James Charles palette is that it has more of a color selection. And again, they're both, Morphe and BH is both very affordable. I think I got the BH one actually for a lower price, and I'll include that in the description below. Okay, next I'm gonna go over here to the James Charles palette and the shade Daddy. I feel like that's closer to the color that I'm using in the BH palette. Again, the BH palette doesn't have any names. Literally, when you get the palette, it just tells you that it's mattes and shimmers, and they really don't have any names for them. I don't know why, the reason behind that, but let's go into this shade. Now with this green, the BH one does feel a lot smoother, but this one seems a lot more pigmented. It seems a little bit easier to blend too, as well. But when you're touching it, the James Charles does feel more powdery on the hand, as far as, but the BH one, it feels more creamy on the hands. And both of these are matte shades, so yeah. Okay, now for the crease color, I'm gonna go into this dark blue shades in both of the palettes. Right off the back, again, the BH side seems more creamy. This blue shade is picking up a little powdery, but I'm fine with that. It just depends on how they perform on the eye for me. I mean, I do love the James Charles palette. The only reason I bought the James Charles palette because I feel like James Charles is a great YouTuber, and I mean, I wasn't really here for the Jaclyn Hill launch, but I was here for the James Charles launch. And again, I'm just going right in this crease right here. And this color is so creamy, like it's really creamy. When they said these colors are creamy, they are creamy. And I'm just going right in the crease with this shade right here. And these shadows are blending so beautifully together. And in the Now in the James Charles palette, I'm gonna go in with the shade Cola. This is deep blue color. It's not kicking up as much as the one in the BH palette for this color for some reason, but when you touch it, the BH one is more creamier than the James Charles one, but it's not kicking up as much in the pan. And again, these are extremely pigmented colors in both of the palettes. I don't know what's going on right here. It doesn't seem like the colors are meshing well together, but I'm not too worried about the lid because we're gonna cut that with concealer and use a different shade, but it is kind of patching up right there. It seems like the transition shade is maybe peeking through just a little bit too much right there. Whereas this, you see how that's evenly blended on the BH side. I'm not getting as much fallout on the side as I am the BH side though. Okay, you guys, I just took a makeup wipe and cleaned up both of the sides of my eye. I just did like that, cleaned it up a little bit. Okay, now it's time to cut the lid. Okay, you guys, now it's time to cut the lid I'm just going back in with my LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Warm Sand. I got the concealer, the crease cut halfway with the concealer. Now I'm gonna go back in with that blue shade in both palettes. Again, that's the, what is this shade called? Cola in the James Charles palette. And it's this dark blue shade right here in the BH palette. And again, I'm just putting that right on the end, both of them. Next, okay, now it's time for the James Charles side in the shade Cola. I'm using two different brushes. Okay, for the inner corner, I'm gonna go in with the shade Ring Light from the James Charles palette. And I always use, for metallic shades like that, I just apply them with my fingers. And from the Artistry palette from the BH, I'm just going with this shade right here. And both of them are metallic shades. And again, I'm gonna just apply that with my finger. I'm gonna just take the brush that I use to blend this together. Okay, now for the James Charles palette, I'm gonna go into the shade Ring Light. Do the same thing, I'm applying it with my finger. Okay, for the center of the lid, I'm gonna go in with, both of them have this metallic light blue color, and the BH palette as this shade right here. And in the James Charles palette, there's this shade. It's Hello. So now I'm gonna be doing that on both the eyes. Again, both of them metallic shades, so I'm just applying them with my finger. Okay, now for the James Charles side, I'm gonna go into the shade Hello. Okay, now I'm gonna go back into the transition shade in both palettes and just put that right in my brow bone. And now I'm gonna do the same thing for this side. I'm gonna just go back into that shade that I used earlier for all over the lid. I'm gonna just put that right here in the brow bone. Okay, you guys, now I'm going to go do my foundation off camera and I'll come back and do the highlight and lipstick. Okay, you guys, I'm done with my foundation and concealer. Now I'm gonna go in with some highlight, and today I'm gonna be using the Juvia's Place Royalty 2 highlight. Okay, you guys, it's time for my overall review. The James Charles palette, I do give it a thumbs up, but I do like the BH Cosmetics palette a little bit more just because I feel like they blend a little bit better. And plus, this is half the price of this one. But the only thing with the BH Cosmetic palette, you don't get as many colors as the color selection is not as broad as the one in the BH one, and these are the color side. I mean, you do get a nice amount of colors in here, but when you look at them up close, you don't really get a broad color selection, like a rainbow color selection. Whereas this one, you got pretty much everything you need, from yellow to green to red to pink to purple. These colors are not bad, but I do feel like this palette is a little bit better, just the way they feel, the texture wise and everything. But I do love James Charles, and I got this palette just to support him and everything, and it is a great palette, but I do feel like the BH Cosmetics palette is a little bit more. And if you guys want me to do any more looks or compare any other palettes, just let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys later.